Right then, hello everyone, welcome to another Sonic Sage 21 stream. Today we'll be covering a game called Sonic Totem. I did play this on a stream I have already done. There were some complications though, so I'm just going to redo the stream. There were complications with the tap, so we're going to redo the stream today. I now have some experience in it, and I can tell you, as much as it uses the Mania sprite, it's a fairly strange game, I can say that much. It's basically all based off Eggman getting this new weather machine kind of thing. Hence the autumn theme, and as you might have seen in that menu, winter theme second level. Sonic's up. There are some strange things with Sonic's thing, physics and models, in that he jumps really high and his models kinda rotate as they kinda go along, as they kinda go over a slope or something. They rotate a lot more than they would in a standard Sonic game, which is a bit strange feeling when doing it. As you can see, it has a lot of moments like that where you're kinda going up walls and stuff by going fast enough. Which, as much as it's a thing that was possible and did happen in the old games, I noticed that they were fairly rare. Having played the game, I can tell you, or at least the first two levels, I can tell you that the game starts off pretty good in the first level. If a bit annoying with some enemies like that are kind of hard to see as you're running past. And then gets significantly worse in the second level, due to a lot of things like crossing deaths and stuff. There's a lot of jumps that it looks like at first you can't actually do. Enemies that just kinda at a moment's notice goes into attack without like really any build up, which kinda makes it hard to really avoid them. All things considered, Sonic doesn't really have that many moves. I'm pretty sure it is just the spin dash. I tried to mess around with it the first time we were playing this, and I couldn't find anything other than that. He can't peel out. I think he does have these sprites, but he doesn't actually spin dash or anything. It's kinda just this. Yeah, it's a fairly blocky platforming is another thing I noticed. There's a lot of blocky platforming, which is the most fun in the world. Lots of moving platforms as well. It has loads of moving platforms. They're constant. So you might have noticed I missed yesterday, if you don't count that stream that I deleted. I missed yesterday, and to make up for it, I'm hopefully going to do 2 streams today. I haven't picked what the second game I'm going to be showcasing is. I know what I'm going to do for the last 2 days though, because they're like because they're the 2 I'm thinking of possibly doing like a full series on. So those are going to be the last 2 we do. I will say this, the unique sprite, I think it's made by a guy called Firewoods, if I remember correctly, in the background and stuff. They're really nice looking, and in the like close background at the back of the stage, they're all really nice looking. My one problem is they kind of blend in with the foreground in the actual level. It's kind of hard to tell where you're going sometimes because it just kind of looks like foreground and background sprites. It's kind of the same. But yeah, I'm pretty sure it's made by a Firewoods guy. Strangely enough, their big selling point was that this was made on Unity. I don't admit I don't really know what most fan games are made out of. I hear things like the bumper engine and stuff being thrown around a lot. Infinity engine is another one. Unreal, I haven't really heard about that in Sonic fan games, but I would hardly call it like a unique selling trait. Oh, I'm making a game on Unreal. You know, I'd hardly. And again, perhaps it's just not very common. I've heard Unreal is kind of difficult to work with sometimes, so that might be it. But yeah. Performance-wise, on my really awful PC, I should point that out whenever I mention like the technical performance of the game. My PC is really like slow and very laggy in games. It's not bad per se, it can run stuff, but it lags a lot. So keep that in mind whenever I'm saying that. Oh, a game runs pretty poorly, but it runs fine in the second level, but in the first level even. But in the second level, it gets pretty laggy. So maybe keep that in mind when you're downloading. I don't know how that would affect an actually decent PC, or like actual gaming PC, or laptop or whatever, but at least in my non-gaming PC, it's a pretty, it's lagged quite a lot. One of the enemy problems I did have with the game was that a lot of the enemies are kinda hard to deal with. Like these guys, they can damage you when you're in a ball, so when you're jumping into them or whatever, they're swinging, but they can't if they're not swinging, which is kinda hard to get around. This area was particularly annoying the first time round. I probably died to it 3 or 4 times. This game didn't have a light. I just realised now that I have the wrong title. I've changed. Has it not saved my thing? Right. Oh, I'll be back in a sec. Right, well that's a bit embarrassing, I'm not going to lie, accidentally putting in the wrong title. Does it not save the new title? Oh. Again, sorry, be back in a sec. Right, back again, that was very embarrassing. I should also apologise now, I realise I probably should have said this earlier. If you hear any background noise, if what it's like in the recordings is what it's like in the actual stream, it should be fine because I've been changing around what's it called? Probably forget that second one, the up, down, and that. I've changed how the mic works. Essentially, the game audio and the mic audio were in different. What? We're in 2 different layers, which means that the game audio was completely silent, which obviously isn't exactly great. This boss really annoys me, to be honest. It's very slow, especially in the first phase. Its hitboxes are kinda all over the place. Like, sometimes the neck damages you, sometimes they don't. Only certain sides of the neck damage you, to hold the extra. See, like the claw damages you, but not the actual body, which I always get. Like, drops logs on you, which again, aren't that hard to avoid, I'm just really bad. But yeah, after a while, he then changes to a different phase, which is this, which is just as hard to avoid being hit by, because of, again, whack hitboxes. So I find that you'll usually lose a lot of rings here, because he changes very quickly. Yeah. I should apologise if you hear the controller. I, again, probably should have mentioned this before, but this game does have controller support. Fairly decent one. Again, there really isn't that much that you need to do other than move left and right and jump. Spin dash at the same point as jumping. So there really isn't that much, like, interesting wise. But yeah. It's got this strange thing with owls. I'm assuming that this is this weather thing that they mention Eggman's trying to get. But then that's entirely a guess. Okay, so from this point on, this is all new. It has 5 levels. From what I'm pretty sure they mentioned it has 5 levels, so that'll be the first 2. I'm assuming there'll be 2 here, and then I'm assuming I'll finish one. Yeah, okay. This one is lagging a lot more heavily. I'm going to assume that it's just because they seem to have an insistence of every level adding more and more foreground objects and more particle effects. But yeah, as you can see, it's kinda lagging a lot now, which isn't exactly great. Okay. This is a problem I've noticed a lot. Enemies just kind of start attacking really quickly and without warning. And they blend in with the background a lot, which obviously makes it kind of hard to avoid them when you can't see them half the time. I wouldn't say the enemy placement is particularly bad. There's a couple of times you're just going to run into them. God, What? and stuff like that, crossing, appearing in the back, looking like they're in the background, no, they're in the foreground. So yeah, there's a lot of problems in this game I think can probably be ironed out. What? Enemy protect us and stuff you can't see, that's never good. Oh, and all combined with that, the amount of lag, I was standing on a wall there. I'm going to assume that kind of ridiculous jump height and stuff you get is for a part of the fact that this is made in Unreal and not on a more standard Sonic thing. Looking at how often sprites and stuff are written for Mania, I can assume that a lot of them will probably be all roughly the same engine, because they all use kind of the same physics. But this game, being as it is, yeah, very laggy. Again, that's probably at least partially because my computer isn't very good. Enemy placement, not good at all. Really bad, in fact. Oh, well, not enemy placement, but enemy physics and how they work is really bad. I should probably clarify. Enemy placement is alright. Background and foreground object-wise, it's pretty hard to tell what's a background and foreground object most of the time. For whatever reason, set points are different colours they usually are. This is exactly great. But yeah, the main two obstacles you're going to be facing in this game are enemies you can barely see and crushers that phase into the foreground. Oh, and teaming against stuff on walls. But yeah, enemies will just kind of flick on a switch about whether they can be damaged or not. Most of them don't have a case of in most Sonic games, where it's just kind of a case of you run into it with a ball, kill it. If you don't run into a ball, it doesn't kill you. It's got much more of a case of that even if you're in a ball, it will sometimes be able to damage you and other times it won't. But yeah, it leads to a lot of cases where you're just going to get damaged and you can't really control it. Yeah, it is a nice looking game, sprites wise, as much as the main Sonic sprite is just ripped straight from Mania. Every other sprite I'm pretty sure is unique in this game. Again, there's a kind of a point where lag gets to the point where the game gets hard to play, and this is probably around that point where lag gets to a point where it actively ruins the game. Don't care that much about frame rate and stuff. I think if there's one series that definitely benefits a lot from increased frame rate of Sonic, they need to do a lot of split-second decisions and stuff. Overall though, again, the themes are nice enough, I guess. They're all fairly run-of-the-mill. You know, when you boil down to it, it's basically forest level, snow level. Again, these are all early levels, just the levels I've played, which aren't that many yet. But yeah. Quality of the levels, after that slight dip in Act 2, this is a decent enough level. What are those platforms? Yeah, and that, see what I mean by sometimes you can't tell what's just part of the background, that foreground, and what's actually a platform and stuff, because apparently these glowing green things, platforms. Which obviously you can't really expect. They kind of just look like the stuff in foregrounds. Nice aurora, borealis in the background there. I'll be honest, that Sonic sprite in the sign, it kind of just looks like his spines are just the back of his head. It looks like he's got some massive cranium. Is that the part of the head at the back? But yeah. If what I've done to the mic actually works, you should be able to pretty clearly tell the difference between the actual game and what I'm saying, because obviously if you were watching the other streams, it was all blending into one, so you were only hearing the game from the background of my mic. But I've turned down the game, which means that you should hear less background noise, and I have put them both on the same channel, because I assumed that when you added that to Premiere Pro or whatever, would put in the 3 different channels. No, it meant that it was a case that whether you just couldn't hear one or the other. It was essentially a kind of a strange mute button for the one or the other. So I turned back onto the same channels, so you should hear both clearly. And you also shouldn't be hearing it on the back of the mic, which also hopefully should lower the volume of the controller, because that was a problem there just a couple of times. If you stop too quickly on a wall, you'll just stop on it, which isn't great. But yeah, they like their crosses in this game. Crosses and enemies can't see. And seemingly platforms that you can sometimes walk on and other times you just can't, and you just can't really tell why. Surprisingly few people here in, I'm assuming people have just kind of got bored of Shades, or again maybe they just don't particularly bother with this game, which again is fair enough. Hey, so what do you guys think of the No Way Home trailer? That was released a day or so ago, I think. I'll be honest, considering how many people are excited for the Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield stuff that's apparently supposed to be coming, is a bit strange. Like, I don't particularly like the idea of the main characters in the Marvel Universe are going to be from a different universe than the MCU. I don't particularly like the idea that in the future people are going to not only have to watch the entirety of the MCU films that was going on, but they're also going to need to watch 2 or 3 other franchises as well, 2 or 3 other Marvel franchises as well. That always kind of bugged me. There was that rumour that rather than make their own X-Men team, they were just going to use the X-Men team from Fox. Which I definitely did again, because I haven't watched any. I've watched like the first film, and that was kind of bad. That wasn't very good. And I've heard that that's like the best out of all of them, so that doesn't exactly bode well for the rest. To be honest, it's kind of hard to tell when you can jump on these platforms and when you can't. I think it's when there's a blue streaks in them, but honestly I can't really tell. Those bells give out rings. Again, see, there's just a lot of running into enemies and just getting damaged and stuff, and then just damage boosting through them or falling in the level. A lot of enemies like that where, great, how was I supposed to know that he was covering me in his attack phase? I can't avoid that because he's off camera, so it's just a case of hoping for the best as I spin that up there. That's 3 times now. I physically can't do anything except get, hopefully, hit him when and now I've ran out of range, so if he is, okay. There's a lot of things like that. I'll be honest, this is probably ranking pretty low in the fan games I've played so far. Obviously the 3D ones are still the best I've played. 2D ones significantly less so, but this is probably ranking towards the back of them as well, because of all the problems I've already mentioned. Lots of foreground background blending that you can't really tell, enemies that you can't hit, crosses that seem to be part of the background, it's all kind of just a big mess. Things like that. Oh yay, the minuscule difference in their animations or whatever. Okay, I guess I can't go into the platform now. But yeah. Considering it's 5 levels, I doubt it's going to be a particularly long thing. Levels are fairly long, although I can't really tell how much of that is actually because the levels are long and just how much of it is just trial and error. There could just be, yeah, there's loads of trial and error and stuff, and just getting hit by things and moving on, which is not a particularly good gameplay loop. Oh, get damage the enemy, continue on, which is not a great gameplay loop. Lots of things like that, enemies and crosses you're just going to roll into and you're going to have no idea it's there unless you either go immensely slowly at all locations, never roll, which obviously isn't a particularly fun thing to do in a Sonic game, or you just already know which. Sonic games kind of have this whole thing where a lot of the thing is going back into levels with your knowledge. It's kind of like a strange Metroidvania. I still feel like the levels should be fun the first time around, and you shouldn't have to just kind of hope for the best on the first loop through. So what have your guys' thoughts been on Shades this year? I haven't really played many of the 3D ones. I just simply haven't had the chance. Some of them required a completely different file which my laptop couldn't actually run. And then the other main 3D one this year was Sonic Riders, X, ODX, it was a Sonic Riders fan game. They all kind of just blend in together when it comes to their names. But yeah, as you can see, there's a kind of lot of just jumping on enemies for chains. It's kind of like those homing attack chains you would get in Sonic 4, except you can't really accurately see when they're about to damage you. So before you actually run into them, which usually isn't great. Right, enemy here. Okay. I'm going to assume I can't. Okay. This is great. This is going to lag the PC to no end. What? When am I supposed to hit him? So I can't hit him there. I'm going to assume I can't hit him during the blizzard. I can't. Am I just supposed to damage boost through the front? Because that's the only way I've been able to damage him so far. Damage jump through his projectiles. Okay, I have no idea what I'm supposed to be doing against this boss. Right, okay, it appears you've got to wait until he comes back down to the ground, which I have noticed takes forever. You can't run under those, so it's impossible to avoid it. If he is doing that sealed, you can't hit him, which is great. He'll, again, morph into damaging position almost instantaneously, which again makes it nearly impossible to hit him. You can barely hit him when he's on the... Yeah, as you can probably see, I'm not the greatest fan of these bosses so far. I've noticed that none of them have been particularly great yet. They've all just kind of been very damage boost through them. Hope for the best. The only good thing that I'm glad about is the fact that rings do like just kind of bounce off the edge of the screen, which makes them significantly more tolerable. I hate to think what this boss would be like if they disappeared when you hit the edge of the screen. That would have been awful. Is he in the field? He's like got the blizzard thing, but you can't see it on the ship, so how am I supposed to know whether I can damage him or not? Plus, obviously, the ridiculous light again on the blizzard. Okay, now he is fighting stuff on the top, a little, just to be more intolerable. Is he giving up with the field yet? What? See, the snow just kind of blends into each other. Like, it's kind of hard to tell the blizzard apart from just the normal snow. Right, blizzard over? I think it is. Okay, when he reaches the edge of the screen, that's when the blizzard ends. Yeah, and because there's no drop dust or whatever, you kind of just, if you miss time a jump, you just kind of have to commit to the fact you're going to get damaged. You can't really accurately get out of the way. It's kind of annoying. I don't think you can hit him when he's at the top of the screen, which again isn't exactly great when he's at the top of the screen for most of the game. God, we've been here for nearly 10 minutes. This is again slightly ridiculous. No, you can't hit him when he's at the top of the screen, or if you can, it's such a tiny position that you're never going to hit him at the top of the screen. I think you can hit him in the black bit, but the hitboxes between that and the bear thing and the fiery cross at the back is so small that I doubt you're going to realistically hit it anyway. Especially compared to when he's just in the dome kind of thing. Come, how many hits does this guy have? Surely I've done more than 8 by this point. Kind of reminds me of like those screensavers, kind of dodge from one side of the screen to the other. Right, come on. You gotta... How many hits does this guy take? This has gotta be 8 by this point, surely. Am I doing something wrong? No, it's just taking forever. He has tons of health. Of course. Right. Sonic got through Act 2. Good, finally. That was annoying enough. And we still aren't even finished. We got that one level left, which seems to have the boss that should be in the thumbnail, if it has properly changed. Vacant Valley Zone. Okay, I'm thinking this is supposed to be summer. Again, if they are just continuing with the... oh great, more enemies you can barely see because they blend into the background. And can't really accurately avoid. Yeah, this game is slowly getting more and more annoying. Cactuses, this kind of reminds me, there's a Sonic level that is like this, I can't remember what it is, I think it's a Sonic Advance game. Is it Ames Island Zone? Like a Sonic Advance stage that looks basically like this. Kind of nice here. Or enemies that just blend into the background. I'm sure if you hit those birds while they're moving, they'll kill you. But obviously, they just change into position so quickly in a game. And Bottomless Pit. Brilliant. I'll be honest, I'm not entirely annoyed at that. That's not like the worst place to Bottomless Pit. But I've noticed I haven't really collected any lives, and the simple reason is the fact there are no lives. Or at least, I'm just going to assume, considering that this isn't the finished game, that when the game is finished, they'll add lives, but for now, yeah, nothing. Okay, I have no idea what I did. I'm pretty sure I fell onto the bottom path, which in most games is supposed to be slower. Oh great, more Bottomless Pit, you kind of just have to jump and hope for the best. This gets more and more fun by the second. Oh! It explodes. I figured that kind of white moment was when you couldn't damage them. No, it's just exploding when you do that. Right, let's go the top route. And hit the one enemy you can actually realistically attack often. Okay, I'm going to assume this is because they have by far the most annoying patterns when it comes to attacking, from the looks of it. Is it just me, or do those kind of glowing rainbow things you see on the platforms and in the sky kind of remind me of the Z and X forms of Pokemon? What are they called? Oh, I can't remember their names now. The gimmick that was added in X and Y. Mega Evolution, that's the one. They kind of remind me of the stones and stuff you need to give them to make them Mega Evolve. I don't know if that's like the adjective used. Yeah, Sonic's invincibility frame, kind of misleading. I think it's tied just to the fact that I have a pitiful frame rate. Can we just run through? Yeah, okay. See, this is kind of a problem I notice a lot. Sometimes you're either going to just fall into a bottomless pit by running through stuff, and other times you'll just be able to get quicker into the level. Kind of annoying. And stuff like that. That looks like it's supposed to be a solid thing you can't go through, and you need to drop down and get around it, but no, it's actually a foreground object. Enemies that is kind of, yeah. I would say sprites are good, but a bit off. It doesn't really match with the Sonic Mania Sonic sprite they've got, but I do think it is nice looking. It's kind of ruined by the fact that you're just getting constantly hit by enemies and obstacles you can't see, or blend into the foreground. Like, obviously that looks like it's supposed to be a solid pillar. Nope. You're supposed to go up that obstacle, but I would never know that if it wasn't for the fact I can see rings on it. Right, at least I think you're supposed to go up it. But again, honestly can't tell, because the level design is kind of confusing. Right, this is a tower thing. I kind of assumed that this was going to be what you had to do on the other side of the pillar, but nope, that's just a foreground object. I think that's a thing that original games manage to do pretty well, is make sure that you can tell what's a background and foreground object and what's just going to kill you. Platforms that are laggy and don't have obvious patterns. Brilliant. Enemies that are just annoying, there's no other words for them. And follow you for way too long, jeez. How long did that guy follow me for? Right, okay. Okay, we're doing good here. It's alright. Not doing too bad this time. See, that was a fairly short level. I've heard it's only 5 levels, unless that's 5 acts, in which case I am probably... I don't know what I'm going to do with this 5 acts, jeez. Please don't be 5 acts. Oh god. I think this is 5 different zones. No, that's what I meant, not acts. Oh great, crosses you can't see because they blend into the background. Where have I seen that one before? Okay, yeah, I'm gonna be honest, this game is starting to annoy me now. Originally I was able to kind of look past it, but from this point on it's just kind of starting to get more annoying than anything. It is kind of nice that you can see Knuckles and Sonic and Eggman on the hieroglyphs and stuff sometimes. But I mean, this is kind of a cool thing. Is this going to be like a bumper? Okay, that's a cool gimmick. I'm not gonna lie, that's a cool gimmick. I'm not sure what it means, but oh great, a wheel that blends into the foreground. And now, because this is on Unreal Engine, I can't get up a slope by jumping on it. Right, please don't. Okay, I don't know how far those spikes are supposed to go. You can't really see any spikes or anything through the debris, so I'm just going to assume that all of the debris damages you. But yeah, as you can see up there, lots of obstacles that are just kind of roll up a cliff or whatever to get through. Oh no, now you're going down. Right, sand at the bottom kind of looks like that's just supposed to be an instant death pit. Like most of the sands have been in this level, apparently not. Like, what did these do? What exactly am I supposed to be doing here? Okay, why was some of it rainbow and why was some of it white? I can't really tell. Okay, those crosses are fair enough. I admit that those crosses are kind of in case you merge your own forces at half. The sprites don't really look when they're just sitting still, do they? They kind of just look like somehow idling in there. But yeah, it's a game that's filled with damage boosting, but Sonic doesn't really have enough invincibility frames to damage boost through things. It's obviously a problem when so many of the stuff is impossible to tell is coming. Is this the death pit? No, it's just more sand that looks like it's supposed to be. There's more wheels that are somehow phased through. Okay, now there's cacti in the level to run. The spin dash is kind of weird with how it works. Sometimes they'll launch you really quickly, and other times they'll barely move you, even if you hold it for the same amount of time. It feels weird. It definitely feels like a downgrade compared to the ones we were playing at the starter stage. I think I might have accidentally got through the really good ones quickly. Please don't make me try and make that jump. What? What am I supposed to do here? Right, make that jump. Brilliant. This that's not happening. That's not going to happen. Right, come on. Jump. There we go. Right, strange colour checkpoints. Probably going to run into something. If I wasn't happy there, I would have ran into a crusher again. It would have been very fun. Okay, so far I'd say these are probably the best crushers. Next video is going to be me ranking the Sonic Totem crushing things. That's going to be at the top. Those pillars going to be at the bottom, followed by those weird tree trunks in the winter level. And so I figure I can fall all the way back down. See, sometimes the cacti stop exploding when you go off screen, and other times they just continue. I don't really know what I'm supposed to do here. I'm going to have to assume that I need to... yeah, it's kind of just hope for the best by jumping into things. Am I not supposed to hit this? Right, okay. You need to jump into it. You can't just roll into it, even though it's on the floor. Oh, great. Okay, again, just phase through a coin thing. Coin disc, whatever you want to call them. And I was spin dashing the wrong way. Sometimes he just spin dashes and then goes the opposite direction to where you were standing a couple of seconds beforehand. Checkpoints aren't too awful in a game where you're not constantly running into things and hoping for the best. Plus, again, lag isn't exactly fun. I'm just going to spin dash up here and hope I don't run into the cactus thing, which I probably will, to be honest. Cactus is there. Right, I can spin dash up this ramp hopefully, and I'll be electric light really badly. Right. What was the pattern here? See, like you can jump into the bottom of some of them, and then you need to jump on top of some of the others. It's kind of a bit confusing. See, you can just jump into the bottom of all of those for this last one, even though it's on the floor. It appears if you're going fast enough, you just phase through the coins. I'm going to assume it might be because I'm lagging so much that I'm actually going through it. Right, are those supposed to be like this island or two things? Why do they really have with the desert? I feel like I'm missing something here. Oh, of course. Certainly expecting anything different from this game. This is kind of getting a bit frustrating now. Like enemies you can't see, instant death pits, checkpoints that spawn you into a dangerous situation and doesn't give you any rings. So you kind of have to deal with the bird without falling off the platform. Or you can just phase through the edge of it sometimes, that's also a real possibility. Right, come on. Am I not supposed to go the entire way around? No, of course I did. See, it's sometimes times like this when I think, should I really be doing a live stream? Should I just make this an episode so I can cut out the annoying bits? No, I decided this week on Throughout Stage I'm going to do a bunch of live streams. And here I am now, playing Sonic Totem. The game where I'm damage boosting through literally everything imaginable and I can't tell half the time what I'm actually trying to avoid. I swear to God, if that thing killed me, I'm finally going through that section. Or that cactus thing on the other hand. Right, can I have rings now? It's like these green ones, but I honestly can't tell whether it's just the lighting in the game that's turning yellow rings kind of green or whether anything like that. To be honest, this level kind of like a washed out filter. I don't really like this level that much. The first level was nice, although I don't really get why there were farms in the middle of the mountain forest. They kind of don't seem like have anything to do with each other. Coins that sometimes you can face through and sometimes you can't. I'm assuming it's because of the frame rate I'm just sometimes walking through and other times I can't. Can I finish the level now, please? No, got a cactus to deal with first. On Aztec temples in the middle of the desert. Of course. And more. About 4 birds, a cactus, no rings. Speak of the devil. Rings. Come on. How far to the right do I need to run? There's barely anything here. I'm not making any jumps. I'm just running around. Sometimes getting damage boosting through enemies. See? Corridor where I'm doing nothing except damage boosting. I'm not... Yeah, this isn't exactly great. It's nearly over. Okay, no, never mind. And there we go. Okay, I think the totem from the name is supposed to be these things that Eggman is collecting. Okay, this is an auto-scroller. Except I can phase through the side. What? Why was it going so slowly? Is that an auto-scroller? Why are there vines at the edge of the screen there? Is it just a limited platform and it is really slowly scrolling to the end? Can I speed up Eggman? Can I get this more? See, I don't... No, okay. He's seeming really vulnerability. It is an auto-scroller. Except... Oh, brilliant. These bosses getting worse and worse by the minute. What am I supposed to hit there? Can I hit the head? Because I haven't been able to do that with the other bosses. Alright, I think you need to hit the head, but last time that just damaged you, so I'm not entirely sure. Hitting the bottom, the gun will damage you. Isn't great. Or am I... Is he gonna... Okay, lagging means that I physically can't hit the head because I'm lagging so much. That laser has such a wide range. How am I supposed to avoid that laser on these tiny platforms? I genuinely not haven't a clue what you're supposed to do in this bit. If I'm supposed to dodge that in these tiny platforms. God. It appears that I need to hit the head, which I couldn't do in the last one. Yeah, hit the head. Except again, you could not do that in the first one. Right, hopefully, it's all really good. We can kill this thing. get a decent... Oh, you gotta be kidding me! Hitting the thing damages, almost always kills you because it bounces you off into the bottomless pit. Who puts an auto-scroll over a bottomless pit while fighting a boss? With hitboxes that don't make sense. And now I'm lagging so much that jumping into the head will jump me into the gun motor. Why was it aiming up? I wasn't even there. Yeah, I have no idea how you're supposed to avoid that laser in these tiny, tiny platforms. Oh, I could just not jump. God's sake. It's an auto-scroller where you can run past the auto-scrolling. Is the stupid thing. Like that. This edge of the screen during the auto-scroller isn't the end of the screen. Can I get behind it? Okay, no, it's just now this is going to go off the edge of the screen. Again, I'm not entirely sure how you're supposed to avoid that laser. And the flames sometimes damage you and sometimes don't. Again, I have no clue how you're supposed to do this if you don't kill it by the time you're on the platforms, because hitting it on the platforms will cause you to bounce into the bottomless pit. Its laser is almost impossible to avoid, and the fire, there's like 3 of them on each platform, so you can get hit by that and fall into the pit. And you have 5 rings to do the thing in. Sometimes they'll just randomly fire up in the sky. I'm not in the sky. What? I now have no rings at all to do with this thing. See, look, that fire took out the entire platform. These are so intermittent that you can jump from one platform to the next, no further. Except that you need to jump 2 platforms to avoid the fire. Okay, and now the game's just kind of soft. Sorry about that. Right. Yeah. And it's lagging so much that timing the jump to run into the face will cause you to jump into the gun, which damages you. Am I supposed to, like, trick Eggman into firing someplace? Because I don't know how the hell it expects me to do that! And there are no platforms beyond this point, brilliant. Rings even, not platforms. Come on, die. 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 Okay. It's lagging so much I can't tell what's going on! Ah! God's sake! This is ridiculous. 45 minutes and I've got through 6 levels? No, not even 6. I'm on the 6th level now and I can't beat it. Yeah, this is definitely the worst I've played, I'd say it so far. I was like, I wonder why nobody's playing this, it looks so cool. No, it's not. It's because the enemy placement is awful, the bosses are bad, and almost always just require damage boosting to do everything. The entire game is just a case of hitting your head against a wall until eventually it just works. With the other ones, it was faults I can really just kind of put up to the fact it's a fan game, kind of weird quirks and stuff. This is just poorly done. Sprites are great. Level design, enemy design, all bad. Boss design. But again, perhaps I'm just being really salty. Art, background, the actual sprites and stuff itself, very nice looking. Absolutely does not work in conjunction with each other. Sprites, the Sonic sprites and the Eggman, I'm pretty sure it's ripped from Sonic Mania, don't fit at all with the pixel art style they're going for with the rest of the game, and it all blends in together. I really hope this is the final level and they weren't lying about the other 5, because if it isn't, I'm probably just going to another one. See, like, the laser makes no sense. Either you got to avoid it, which will either you avoid it and don't get damaged by the laser, but it means you're going to get damaged by the fire afterwards. Problem is, a lot of the other ones that seem interesting are multiplayer. I got nobody to like invite, so this is going to be going up against random people, which isn't exactly great content. Can't even coordinate anything funny when you don't know the other person you're talking to. See, let's just kind of hope for the best. He can fire into himself. So it appears to be a case of damage him as much as possible on this bit. Hope you just hope you don't get hit by the laser. And I've run past the screen again, of course. And the back is damaging as well. See, the main problem I've got with the bosses is the fact that you can't tell what's going to damage you on the boss and what's not. Like, sometimes the face will damage you, sometimes it won't. Sometimes you need to hit the bottom, other times the bottom will damage you. You can always hit the top, but in most of the bosses, you can't do that most of the time. God, it is literally just hitting your brick wall. I haven't felt this much pain playing through a game since. Okay, and the gun will also not damage you while he's flying over. Ah! God's sake. Right, start this at 8:55. We're nearly, well, we are 45 minutes in. This is getting ridiculous. Okay, so the gun will damage you, but only in certain places when he's coming in. It makes no sense about how he's aiming the gun. Sometimes he'll fire it at you, sometimes he'll fire it for you, sometimes he'll fire it after you, so that when you hit him, he'll not be knocked back into being damaged by him. Sometimes he'll fire it straight up at you, which you can't really avoid to do anything about. If you're above him, most of the time he can't really do anything. But obviously the platforms don't just do that the entire time. Sometimes you have to be below him, which is when he starts doing this. And sometimes you just don't jump. Right, okay. Let's probably stop rating now and start getting back into like actual discussion. Right, hello anyone who's just coming in. I've been fighting this boss for about 15 minutes now, and I'm sick and tired of it. Now, in case you don't know, it's an auto-scroller over a bottomless pit, where you gotta deal with platforms, except the platforms will get set on fire by the thing and stop it from being usable, and if that happens, then you die, because you can't jump far enough to get to the next platform. It's a really, really poorly designed boss. I think it's just supposed to be obscenely difficult, but like it's not balanced in why it's difficult, it's just poorly done. Oh, no, sometimes you just can't dodge the beam at all because they'll go far enough to hit the edge of the screen. Other times that'll happen, nope, things burning by getting down there quick enough, and sometimes Sonic won't jump! Because of input lag. Combine that with game running at about 6-10 frames a second, and you have a really bad time. And now my battery, this has managed to burn through 80% of my battery in the span of, it's burned through 80% of the battery of my laptop in the span of 50 minutes. How intensive is this game? Is it the Unity engine in the background? See, but he essentially has two different things he does with the weapon. He'll either fire it directly at you and just kill you outright, or he'll fire it in front of you, causing you to have to run into the fire it leaves behind. See? But it's just so poorly designed. Like, there's no words for it, it's just not good. See, I've been hitting my head, essentially hitting my head against a brick wall for the past 15 minutes. Hoping to dear God. And the problem is they don't even They don't even follow the standard how like 8 hits. I think it's 12 or 16 hits, which is just obscene for a standard boss, especially when you're dealing with all of these struggles. Deal with it. You got all of this, and you got to get in 12 to 16 hits with it. And there's popping with the background. God. If this takes many more attempts, I think I might just quit this stream, to be honest. Ready to quit out the stream. Sometimes he actually speeds past the auto-scrolling, which means you can't hit him. Okay, brilliant. What? I went straight through him! Okay, that's the first time that's happened, going straight through the boss and hitting the damaging part of the back. Oh yeah, did I also mention the fact that this auto-scroller allows you to run behind the screen? Right, okay, that's 5 hits, 6 hits, 7 hits. No, okay, gonna hit a fire instead. And because the gun can move, promise, there aren't even really enough. I don't even really know what I'm doing. That's barely any. Why did that shut down the game? Promise, there isn't really enough people to really make any of this worthwhile either. Which just makes it all the worse. There's 4 people, average watch time 4 seconds. 2 of those people, one person watched for 2 seconds, one person watched for 1 second, one person watched for 6 seconds, the other person watched for 5. It's going really poorly, to be honest. Like, nobody's watched enough to be considered a viewer by the analytics. Come on. Come on! No! Okay, phew. There! God, he's dead! Can he still damage? Oh, of course he can still hit you after firing. I swear to God, if I got hit by that, I was gonna say some bad words. Survivor bonus 0, of course. Please don't be another level after this. I don't think I can take it. Please be. Okay. We're done. We're done. We're finished. Oh. All the other stage games I would recommend you playing. Stay as far away as possible from this one. It is abysmal. There's no other words. I was actively disliking it while I was playing. I'm going to do another stream today to kind of make up the fact I didn't do one yesterday, other than that deleted one. See you then. I haven't actually chosen the game we're going to be doing, so it'll be a surprise. Right. See you guys later.